Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Let's get some light on the subject because today we're going to Azvex. This is Enforcers Sting. It's an IPA at a whopping 7%. But what's it going to be like? Keep watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review today. One of my favourite breweries. This is Azvex, and this is Enforcers Sting, with this sort of cartoon bee or wasp, one of the two. I'd say that's a bee on the cover. Then this is a slight change for their normal sort of artwork, usually very sort of space or futuristic sort of themes, but this is quite different. So this is an IPA, 7%, so it's quite a high ABV IPA. Citra, Strata, and Simcoe. I must admit, now I've looked at it, I thought, why did I buy this? Strata is not my favourite hop at all. Simcoe, I don't mind it. And Citra, I like. But there's nothing really, nothing that exciting about this hop collection. But Azvex make good beer, and they're consistently good. I doubt this will be a bad beer. But whether it will be a very good beer is another thing. I mean, this was $4.99. Good value for money. So let's crack it open, get it in a glass. See if it's any good. More importantly, is it up to the normal Azvex standards? Well, certainly pouring it, we've got that signature sort of very light yellowy custard colour that Azvex has. All their beers are like this. I think it's something to do with the yeast strain or something else, I don't know. But a lot of their beers are very sort of on the custard scale in terms of very sort of bright yellow. We've got quite a frothy sort of three-finger head. It was fairly sort of compacted on the top, but we look at it at the side, you can see loads of sort of quite big bubbles. So I don't expect that to stick around. Let's check the aroma out. Oh, it smells really, really good. Really pungent, actually. Just lower this down a bit. That's it. So you're getting lots of citrus fruits. Lemons, limes, grapefruits, all of that stuff in the mix. And then there's a sort of slight earthiness and a slight sort of a little bit more grassy sort of element. Yeah, I mean, the Strata is fairly well kept in check. I'm not getting that sort of pot aroma that I usually get with Strata. Smells good. I think it's going to be a refreshing, delicious beer. So let's tuck in. Cheers, everyone. Oh, yes, delicious. Oh, it's very, for 7%, it's really easy drinking and very moreish. What's the flavours? Well, the flavours are citrusy. So you've got lemons, sweetness, there's a little bit of sherbetiness, lots of lemon flavour. But there is a slightly sort of an undertone under that lemon. I'm quite sure what it is. Just a little bit more body and earthiness. So it's not like real lemon juice, all that. It's something a little bit underneath it. Probably the beerness of it. Yeah, I'm 5 years in and I'm still don't really know how to describe a beer properly. Lots of citrus, lemons and limes, grapefruit coming in. There's maybe sort of little hints of melon in there in the background. But it's definitely high on the old citrus scale. And to be honest, this is exactly what I like in beers. I like beer more on the sort of citrus side than I do the tropical side. I thought because it has Simcoe and Strata in there was going to be a bit of an earthiness, a little bit more dank, but it's quite a bright, refreshing sort of flavour. Body is absolutely perfect, really smooth, almost medium bodied. Now I've been to the shops and I've just said I have a nightmare in the shops because no one was taking cars. It was all cash and no one has any cash, so it was a pain in the backside. But anyway, I was out longer than I thought it was going to be. I just got this out before I went to the shops. So in terms of temperature, it's cold, but it's not ice cold. It's cool almost. But I think I'm getting better flavours from it because of that. I would normally probably have, only had this out 20 minutes, but I've had it out for 40. and it's almost like spot on in terms of the temperature, and you're getting all that flavour come through. The body is smooth. I could drink 4 of these. It's that sort of beer. 7% would be quite dangerous, even drinking 4 of them. But it's the sort of beer that your first one doesn't touch the sides. Next one you savour it a bit more, and the third one and fourth one you sort of you're just in a groove at that point. That's what this beer's like. But that's what Azvex are like. Let's face it, they make very good beers consistently, and that's what makes them a really good brewery. I mean, it's as good as a lot of beers that I've had from them in terms of IPAs. I always enjoy their IPAs, and they mix up the hops and stuff. But I really like the flavour of this. It's easy drinking. There's no bitterness. A little bit of sharpness from the grapefruit sort of flavour. But it's almost as if that they've squeezed lemons in this. There's a real complexity of lemon flavour that you don't normally get with beers. I don't know, I think it's just the combination of citrus, Strata and Simcoe just amplifies that citrus flavour. There's nothing in here that you would call tropical. It's just delicious. Another great beer, Enforcers Sting. So what I could say is that sometimes you look at hops on a beer can and you think, yeah, they're not going to sound that exciting, or there's the odd one there that you're not a big fan of and you think, well, one of it's quite dominant in that sort of hop. If I had taken that my own advice, I would have looked at this and gone, yeah, I'll try something else. But the can jumped out to me and I just thought, 7%, it's going to be good, isn't it? And it is. It's very good. So Enforcers Sting. Let's get some scores. Okay, let's do the scores live for Enforcers Sting. I've really enjoyed this beer. The only regret I have is that I would have liked to have a couple, you know. So I very rarely would buy more than one. I like to try different ones. But with this one, I feel like I've drank quite a lot of it quite quickly. I'm on this Friday night here. But it's got that sort of moorish quality where you're not quite satisfied with just one can of it. And it's very rare that I say that about any sort of IPAs because, I like trying different stuff. But this is a very moorish, drinkable beer. I don't want to say sessionable because that would imply that it's sort of low ABV. But 7% is definitely the higher end of an IPA, really. But anyway, regardless of that, it's good beer. So let's do the scores. We'll start with aroma. Yeah, I mean, the aroma is lots of citrus, grapefruits, almost like there's a little bit of pink grapefruit in there as well. There's a little bit of sweetness in the aroma, but it's a lot of heavy lemons and with a slight bit of lime. And maybe there's a tad of earthiness in there. I don't know whether I think of that because I think of Simcoe and earthiness. It's definitely much more lemon grapefruits with sort of a little bit of lime cutting through. Smells good, smells inviting. I'm going to give it 14 for aroma. Appearance-wise, well, like every good Azvex beer, I love a beer that's this light yellow colour. And I see a beer like that, and almost like my taste buds go, you're in for a treat. I always enjoy it more because of that. But I think it's solid. I love it. 8 out of 10. Flavour-wise, well, as I said, I love citrus, heavy, dominant sort of beers, and this has got not just lemon flavour in it, but the grapefruit comes in. There's an undertow of slight earthiness, just to give the lemon a little bit more oomph. Almost, I mean, if I was being pretentious, I could say, oh, it's like a pomelo lemon. Is that a thing? No, there's a fruit that's like a hybrid of a lemon and grapefruit. It's like that. It's almost like a lemon grapefruit hybrid. Obviously, for the sort of normal people, you just say, well, it's got a bit of lemon flavour and a bit of grapefruit flavour. There's a little bit of the sherbetiness. Again, I'm a massive fan. I've had quite a few different beers which have got that sort of slight sherbety taste to it. I don't know what gets to that, but it's almost like you're getting the sharpness of lemon, but there's also a little bit of sweetness on there as well, and it gives that sort of sherbety sort of flavour. I love that. I just think it tastes great. The mouth feels brilliant, so I'm going to give it high score. I'm going to give it 35 for flavour. Value for money. Well, as I said, this was $4.99. It might have been $5.25, and I know its prices are creeping up now, but it's still one of the, you know, apart from even I think Polly's are probably the cheapest of IPAs really. So I think for a 7% at around about £5, it's the key price to be paying. But you know, if you go and buy a Verdant or a Beak or Rivington, yeah, Rivington's a bit bigger can, but those sort of beers you're paying $5.50, $5.75 for an IPA. I think it's good value, consistently good. I'm going to give it a consistent 8. You know, I should give it a 9, but I'm going to give it an 8. And then my overall experience, well, I love this beer. I think it tastes great. It's one of those sort of beers, though, that it's like, how excited can I get about it? It's just what you want. You know, it's like when I drink a craft beer, this is what I want. When I think of all those supermarket beers I wanted, this is what I'm strived for. I never get anywhere near that with supermarket beers. And this just to me is like, it's such a big jump, but then to get it to a real greatness, there's only a tiny little jump. So I think it's a very, there's nothing wrong with this beer. It's just great, and it's right on my street. So overall experience is going to get another high score. 15. It just hits all the notes for me. So we top the scores up, and I think it's going to be a higher one. So we've got 50, 58, 58, 68, 72. Is that right? My maths are not working. 50, 58, 58, 66, 76. It's 80. Well, I'm just looking at that because I looked at another score for another one that was above it, and these had 2 more points, and yet that was 80 as well. So somewhere I've gone wrong, but I think this is definitely an 80 out of 100. So it's a recommended beer. Like all Azvex beers, they're always, no, it's a highly recommended, I should say. Like all Azvex beers are always at that scale. Very rarely would I go under sort of 77 probably in terms of an Azvex beer. You know, anything between 77 and 83. They're very, very solid. Again, you know, once in a while I have something that will blow my socks off from Azvex, but it's not that often. But the point is that they are consistent. If someone said, right, you can only go buy from one brewery, but you can buy lots of different beers, I'd probably pick Azvex. I mean, to me, they are the new Polly's. The Polly's were like this before, but I just think Azvex a bit more consistent, you know, now there, and I just love I love the way that they make the beers. It just sort of hits right for me. So yeah, give it a go. If you see any Azvex beers, just buy them. Have you ever had Azvex beers that you thought, I don't know if I want to drink Azvex again? I'll be surprised because I think they make great beers. Their IPAs are brilliant. The double IPAs are good. You know, they do these smoothie ice cream sours that are very sought after. And to be honest, they are pretty damn good as well. If you have any of those, if you like that sort of thing, then they are one of the best of that style of beer. But yeah, love them. So hope you've enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you have liked it. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And until the next one, you know what you do. Drink good craft beer and keep on rocking.